Pickup trucks are fantastic creations. They're no-nonsense workhorses at the back, yet they have civilised cabins up front, and we are not the only three who love them. This is a market with rapidly rising sales. So here are three of the most popular rugged trucks as searched for on Autotrader.
While most people who buy pickups do so to help them run their small businesses, whether that's landscape gardening or building, what about pickups for parents? I've had this Ford Ranger all weekend and I whacked kids in the back and the bikes in the very back, and we set off for some cycling in the forest. Ideal.
This is one of the most iconic pickup trucks in the world. It's the Toyota Hilux. It's known for being virtually unbreakable and very dependable. It's rugged, tough, and has lost none of its legendary reliability over the years.
This is the Mitsubishi L200 Warrior, and like the others can come with no VAT if you own a small company and you obey certain mileage rules. Company car drivers can benefit too, so these machines are strong alternatives to SUVs. This truck can come with 2 doors and a single cab, or like this with 5 seats and a double cab. It's got a decent amount of standard equipment, including heated seats, a rear view camera and lane departure warning system. The truck has been around for about 30 years, but this particular dash design is the most outdated of our 3 today. For driving refinement, this Mitsubishi sets a reasonable standard. It'll do 70 miles an hour at a pretty low 1500 RPM. It's got a 110 mile an hour 2.5 diesel engine, which is the quickest here. 62 in 10.4 seconds, and it's got the best fuel economy as well. But don't expect, to be cosseted like a premium SUV in one of these trucks. They're a little bit roughy-tufty. They're all 4-wheel drive, and they all have a 2-wheel drive system, which fantastically for me is rear-wheel drive. So the power goes to the back, so you can do some donuts in suitable places.
Sporty.
Fabulous. I know you said earlier that the standard equipment levels are pretty good, and they're not bad on a tech front, but they could be better. You have to have the top level trim before you get a sat-nav. It's got Apple CarPlay, but no Android Auto, so Android users are a little bit stuffed. On top of that though, it looks pretty colourful. It basically looks like a basic Apple CarPlay.
The rear is pretty basic too in the back here, but there is tons and tons of room for your legs, your shoulders and your head, and you always think when you look at these pickups that in a double cab rear space is going to be compromised, but no, I have acres of room. Big tick. While the interior of the Ford Ranger may veer on the more functional and practical than stylish, actually it's pretty well kitted up. There's a rear view camera, heated front seats and puddle lights when you open the door. I love a puddle light.
In the Ford, the ride is a little bit jittery at low speeds when there's nothing in the back to weigh it down, but the steering is responsive and the handling is great, so I think they're worthwhile compromises. And this thing looks like Batman's wagon, so it looks good and does its job.
From the tech side of things as well, all spot on. The higher end models in here get Ford Sync 3 software, which is on all the latest Ford cars, and it's a really easy to use system as a whole. You get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, this one's got sat-nav on as well, all very good.
I must say the utilitarian aspect of the pickup does not lend itself to drinking fizzy drinks in the back of the car. Parents of children drinking and eating be warned. On the other hand, the Ford feels a touch above the Mitsubishi with its leathers and the way the leather on the door handles is stitched nicely. And I'm just never going to grow tired of sitting in the back with the big glass window watching things fly out the rear that we haven't secured down properly.
Compared with previous Hiluxes, this one is definitely more car-like. This is in Invincible trim, which all sounds very dramatic, but that means it's got the same touchscreen infotainment system as you'd get in Toyota's cars, Touch 2. There are a few durable materials around here, which gives away that it's going to be used as a commercial vehicle still, but on top of that you get a few more upmarket materials, a lick of chrome here, a spot of piano black here, which gives it more of an SUV-like feel.
This Toyota doesn't have the smoothest of automatic 6-speed gearboxes, and it hangs onto a gear at uncomfortably high revs, but it is a farmer's favourite and it will make a breeze of off-road work because it's got a rear diff lock to get you out of sticky situations. It has a power mode if you want to spice up the throttle, and it's got an eco mode if you don't.
I think it's worth mentioning that in all three of our pickups, the trim level that you pick really does depend on how much tech you're going to get. And basic trim level equals very, very basic tech. Fortunately, we're well spec'd. Touchscreen system is the same one that you get in Toyota's cars. It's all very good, but not quite as intuitive to use as in the Ford.
I'm missing the Ford's rear space, I must say. There is very little headroom and legroom in the back of the Toyota. Also, I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I don't like this fabric stuff on the seats. It's not that I prefer leather over fabric, I just don't like the design. On the other hand, as well as the central squab with the two cup holders in it, we have in the Toyota what can only be, they can't be coat hooks, must be bag hooks in the back of your seats.
I've got a cup holder to my right here.
And there's a cup holder to the left.
Storage, big tick.
Pickup trucks are no longer just for work, they are also for play. And one of the biggest benefits is just how much stuff you can fit in the back.
The Ford Ranger has the largest load space, but be warned, for those of you without these muscles, you're going to need a little help potentially, as with all three of these, to open the boot because the back has no hydraulics on it.
The Hilux has got the second largest load space and still a really heavy boot.
The Mitsubishi has the smallest load area, but it is the only one to be wearing its hard top today, which not only keeps things dry, but also means that you can use it as a mobile hotel for an extra adventure. Not the easiest to open. If you want a pickup that is compact in size, then the Mitsubishi L200 is for you. It's the cheapest too.
If you want a pickup which is virtually invincible and that can do the job super reliably, it's the Toyota Hilux.
And if you want the mother of all designs, plus something to throw the kids' bikes in at the weekend, it's the Ford Ranger.